What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Real Word podcast, a place where real thoughts, real ideas, and real words come to life. I'm your host, Drew, coming from San Diego, California. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit up those links down below. And now we can get into the episode. Hold on just 1 second. I just got to reach over here real quick. Turn that mic down just a tad because it was coming in a little hot. All right, so like I said, we can get the show started. It is July 8th, 2020, so welcome in. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure to go check out at @No World Order podcast on Instagram. Me and Zach did an Instagram live yesterday. Zach actually came through again, and we did another live Instagram together here. So that was fun. That was a good episode. We actually had a little engagement in the comments as well, so that was fun. Yeah, we kind of went over quite a bit. I'll kind of rehash some of the stuff here as we go through some of the stuff I wanted to talk about. But yeah, yesterday was an interesting day, that's for sure. Started out feeling good, doing my first Tuesday morning tokes, and then, 40-something minutes into that, it just stopped recording, so then I had to redo it, and it just really bummed me out, because I was really in the zone that first recording, and then the second one, I just, I forced myself to get through it. It was still fine and everything, but it was just really frustrating, because that first show was, you can't recreate that, you know what I mean? It's like when you're just in your zone and riffing and just going off on all these other tangents and offshoots, and you just can't recapture that when you try and redo it. It just doesn't come off the same. It doesn't feel the same. You could tell it's kind of being forced and, spoken about again and not for the first time. So that was a bit of a bummer. But after that, everything went pretty smooth. Then I had, sorry, I was about to sneeze there for a second. Had a therapy appointment at noon, which was good. I took this kind of like personality test thing. It was like 195 questions, true or false things. Forget the exact test, but it's like a really well-known scientific study thing that's been around for quite some time. This is like the fourth version of the test or whatever. Like I said, I completely forgot the name of the test, but it was a real, thorough questionnaire, true or false questionnaire, and I'll find out the results next time I talk to my therapist, which will be next Friday. So I'm anxious, nervous, excited to kind of see what is to come with those results. There was like at least one question that I accidentally chose true instead of false or whatever, but just one out of the 195 I don't think will make too big of a difference. But you never know. I just like was answered too quick, and I was like, oh no, I misunderstood that question, and I didn't really ask if we could go back or whatever, because by the time I realized we were like 2 or 3 questions ahead. So that's what that was. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to what the results will be, and being able to kind of just know myself a little bit better, I feel. And to get a better grasp on myself, and my therapist would have a little bit better of a grasp of me, so he can help me out a little bit better and can pinpoint some things. And yeah, I just feel like this is going to be a good step in the right direction to, finally get whatever help I need, or what, like I said, just to be able to have this understanding and then be able to kind of pinpoint what exactly is wrong and how we can go about fixing it or whatever. Just because, like I said in the past, like, I really struggle with mental health stuff, and I've been ingrained in conditions since I was a little kid, and this is a lifetime worth of bad habits that keep coming up and I can't seem to really break. But that's why this test, I feel, will be a good, step in the right direction, just because it'll help me out, and like I said, it'll help my therapist out be able to kind of pinpoint what exactly is going on, or at least a better understanding of what is going on. So that was that, and then yeah, pretty shortly after that, I did go on a little run yesterday, probably only about 2.5 miles, nothing crazy. It was really warm today, or yesterday. The last few days have been really warm. But yeah, I went out on a little run, got a sweat in, took a shower, and then my buddy Zach came by, and then that's when we did the episode. And like I said, that was a really good episode. We talked about some of the top power California families, the ones who have been running, California for decades, and how they're all Democrats. And, it's like, it's a wonder why the state is in the, situation it's in. It's like, just look at who's in charge and who's been in charge for decades, and, follow that trail, and it kind of all makes sense. But when doing some of that research, like finding out it was like Brown, Pelosi, Newsom, and Getty, those are the four, like, main families that have a stronghold on California. But then when you're looking into that, you see the people who are behind them and the names that you don't even know. It's like, go to the Instagram live, the IGTV from yesterday, 7/7/2020, and go listen to that one and become aware, because some of these names, it's like, these are the people who have the wealth, and we don't even know these last names. Like, we don't even know who these people are, and yet they're the ones giving, the campaign funds to these people, and have been, picking these people for decades, and, really shaping our day-to-day lives, over time. And I just thought that was really interesting, because it's like, of course, we know the typical names, like a Jerry Brown, like that family, the Pelosi's, Nancy Pelosi and that family, Gavin Newsom and his family, you know what I mean? And John Getty and Gordon Getty, the Getty family, you know what I mean? So we all know those names, but it's interesting to find out who is behind those names, you know what I mean? It's like those names, I feel, are like the fall guys, the ones who just take the blame for everything, or take the praise, whatever it is. But it just really seems like there is someone else behind, or not just someone else, but like other people behind those families that are really kind of pulling the strings of the state. And yeah, I just found it really interesting. Like, I just thought it was kind of those four, like, initially when I first came across this, it said like 8 families, and then I was doing some more research and it said 4 families, and then when I was digging deeper into the 4 families, it brought up the 8 families again. So it was a really interesting thing to kind of dig into a little bit. And it's nowhere near, we didn't even, come close to scratching the surface. We just kind of touched the surface, you know what I mean? But just kind of trying to connect the dots and just see what is really going on, and who's in charge and why and for how long. And just seems like this has been going on for decades, though. I did read something that, like, I believe is like Jerry Brown stated that they chose Gavin Newsom from like 2 something decades prior. and they knew that he was going to be the one to be in the position that he's in. So, take that for what it is. We got to, I just say become aware and, learning and constantly learning, researching, reading, listening to videos, whatever you can to learn, but sift through the bullshit and, try and find the truth and form your own opinion and, but hopefully it's rooted in facts, because that's how, I don't know, find your own opinion, but make sure it's rooted in facts, but then your opinion should be facts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just how I feel. That's just how I see it, though. So that was yesterday. Nothing else was really going on. He left. He did give me a couple of these brownie edibles. And I ended up eating both of them yesterday. And man, I slept pretty good last night. It was crazy because I went to bed and then I woke up around like midnight. And I was like, oh, damn. I forgot to close the garage. And it's about, 100 and couple, like a football field away from the house. So, from the apartment. So, I had to go. Just went out in the cold air, walked all the way across and closed the garage and then got back in bed. And luckily I just passed out real quick. But, yeah, it was just funny. I just woke up at midnight. I was like, oh, I forgot to close the garage. And it's just so random, like how that even happened. It completely slipped my mind when I went to bed, but then I just woke up thinking about it. I was like, oh, strange. But yeah, man, those edibles were good. I think it kind of knocked me out. That's kind of why I just passed out so hard. And then all of a sudden I woke up and I was like, oh man, what? I gotta go close the garage. But it was good. It was good. Shout out to Zach. I appreciate those edibles. I think he said his sister makes them or made them or something like that. And they were all, vegan and all that. So it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Let's get into the snap. I think this was some of that platinum, the last of my platinum from Farmer and the Felon that I had out here. And then all we will have left is that Tropicana. But I do have a couple snaps of this Platinum Kush, Platinum OG, whatever it is, from Farmer and the Felon. So let's get into that. Cheers. Yep, that platinum just tastes so good, man. So different. Especially out of clean glass, clean water. Oh, so good. Man, I can't wait for my flower to harvest. So I have a blueberry and 2 amnesia haze outdoors that should be they're in the process of flowering now. They're auto flowers, so it just takes, about 10 to 12 weeks from seed to harvest or whatever. So it's getting close. Couple of them are probably only like 4 to 3.5 weeks or so away, maybe, 4 to 4 weeks away, maybe, from being complete. And yeah, I'm excited about that. And then I also have 3 Northern Lights indoor, and those are looking real good. Those are looking real nice. Hopefully I can just, maintain the heat in there and just make sure it doesn't stay too hot, because that can really affect them. I just gotta really be careful about the nutrients I'm giving them. It's just a whole process, but I'm excited. They're looking really good, way better than the ones I tried growing last time. I'm paying way more attention to them. I'm, not saying that I'm in a better headspace, but I'm more passionate about it this time. I don't know. I was just in a really bad, really dark place the initial time I started growing in the tent, but this time, I'm still dealing with similar things, but um I don't know. I'm just paying more attention. I'm more meticulous with it and taking better care, and you can kind of tell. But yeah, I'm excited about the outdoor. I'm excited about the indoor. I'm excited. I still have a few more seeds that I got to throw in there, a couple more blueberry and another amnesia. So, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to grow and, hopefully just keep a cycle going. I know me and my neighbor are talking about buying some more seeds, getting some more seeds going, and just between us, just having just a ton of product. And he have his and I'll have mine be the vegan stuff, and if he wants to sell it or whatever, I don't know what the deal is gonna be with it, but like I said, I don't even really want to make money off of it. I just want enough to you know be able to smoke and not spend money, or use it as a trade or bartering tool or something like that. I don't know, but if I can get a grand or 1,500 a month from just someone getting a large amount from me, I'd be cool with that. But it's like, again, I'm not really trying to profit off it. I'm not trying to make it my business or anything like that. I love growing and I love smoking, so I just want to be able to smoke, and not have to worry about spending money on it, unless I want a specific flavor or a specific concentrate or whatever. Like, I'll still probably buy concentrates, but hey, I might just invest in a rosin press and just start pressing my own rosin and, doing that. And I know my neighbor was talking about maybe making some bubble hash or ice hash or something like that. So it'll be exciting to see what's to come, I just love cannabis and I love growing, but I should get off of this subject and save it for Tuesday morning tokes, because that's where that is. But cannabis is a big part of my life and I love it. I obviously smoke every morning here on the show, so I just gotta kind of mention it every once in a while. But I do have that specific Tuesday morning tokes where it is very just cannabis centric and cannabis focused. So I'll get off of that subject and just get into some of these stories here. So, it looks like the San Diego Padres are going to be starting on the 24th, which is like just over 2 weeks away. They're going to be starting here in San Diego at home at 6:10 p.m. And I believe it was against the Diamondbacks. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's who it was against. 60-game season. It looks like we're going to be getting it. It is interesting. I do find it really interesting how they're not just keeping them in one spot playing in, or one state maybe playing, multiple ballparks throughout one state. Like maybe take California, maybe take Texas or something like that, and spread multiple teams throughout multiple parks in the state and have them play that way. But no, it sounds like they're each playing at home, and then they got to travel, and they're going to be tested, but it just seems like everything's just still kind of a mess. I know some teams, and the Padres are one of those teams where testing is really slow. It's like they'll get tested on Monday, and then they don't get their results back until they're getting tested again on Wednesday. But sometimes they don't even get those results back till after they're tested again on Wednesday. So it's like, if they're positive for the virus, and they've been around people during that day or two, what are we doing, And I know someone, Tommy Pham, did test positive for the coronavirus, and General Manager AJ Preller announced Friday that Pham is asymptomatic and self-isolating, and he said that he's been in contact with him every day. But also, I was listening to Ben and Woods this morning, and it just sounds like the message just isn't getting through to the Padres or to some of these players or whatever. It's like, okay, I understand as a person, like someone who is just living their life, who isn't an athlete, actor, working an essential job. If your business is requiring certain things of you and you're not adhering to those things, like wearing a mask and all of that, and quarantining and not going out, is like, I understand like that's infringing on your rights and stuff, but it's like, do you want to play? Do you want to have your job? Do you want to, like some players are opting out this season and that's their right, you know what I mean? But then the players who do want to play, they're kind of, at least a few, at least a couple, and the San Diego Padres have been not social distancing, not wearing a mask, going out and doing stuff. And then one of them, Tommy Pham here, catches the virus, and now he has to, wait it out, and we'll see what happens. So I just find it really, really interesting. This whole sports thing, I don't know. I have really mixed feelings about it because obviously I love sports. I want sports to come back. I don't even care about fan attendance, honestly. It doesn't matter to me one bit. I've really started to enjoy what little sports we do have without fans. Honestly, like it's been cool to me without the fans. Gives things just more of a neutral feel. But and shout out to UFC. They got an event coming up, I believe, this Saturday in Abu Dhabi, Fight Island. So that should be interesting. I'm excited about that. But again, I was just saying that baseball is gonna be back, but I am worried that these sports things are kind of gonna, give us these sports, and then all of a sudden all these athletes will start testing positive, and then they'll have to shut things down, and that'll be on a massive platform again, where all these players will get it or whatever. Everybody will be fine. I would assume everybody would be fine, but then it would just cause this mass hysteria, and then things would just be completely locked down, shut down. And I don't even know if essential workers would be, out there, maybe just delivery stuff, getting your food, like you place an order online and somebody comes and delivers it for you. So maybe that will be the next thing. I don't know. I hope not, but that's kind of where I see, that's like a worst case scenario. That's where I see what this sports thing can lead to, is them giving us this, but it be for a manipulation and like, yeah, just kind of have it be used for a way to bring in massive shutdowns. I gotta blow my nose. Hold on a second. But again, hey, if sports are a way to get back to normal and it doesn't have that hidden agenda to it, I'm all for it, man. I love sports, so let's get it back, And I don't care if it's a distraction. I don't care if it's rigged. I don't care. Like, it's entertainment to me. It's mindless, stressful, fun entertainment. It's all of the above to me. And I just enjoy it. Before I used to be super invested in sports where it'd weigh like super heavily on me, and I would get emotional about it, but like it would cause me to have like rough nights and stuff, if the Chargers lost or the Padres got killed or blew it, like it would really stick with me overnight and the next day or whatever. And I'll still think about it, be like, oh, I can't believe that. But then I'll be like, so typical. You know what I mean? Oh my God, so typical. So it's like, I really try now to really not be emotionally attached to these teams, because it's like, I'm not a part of these teams, like them because it's the team, like San Diego, especially when Chargers were here. But example Padres. It's just where I live. It's where I was born, and it's where I grew up here. It's the team we went and saw, and you know, that's why I was so emotionally invested in. But then I grew up, matured, and it was like, okay, I'm not a part of them. I live here in the city of San Diego and all that, like in the county, and I can root for them. They're my team that I watch, but I'm not a part of it. You know what I mean? It's not, oh, we, us, oh, yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like how a lot of fans are. Oh, yep, we're looking good this year. It's like, I'll probably say that. You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm more aware of it. It's like, I'm not a part of this team. Like, I'm a fan and everything, but I'm not, it's not us, it's not we. It's like them as a team, they're the ones doing it and stuff. And yeah, that's just my opinion on it all. Let's get into another little snap, and then we'll get into some of this COVID talk for here in San Diego. Ugh. Just ridiculous stuff, man. Just ridiculous. Oh, in the meantime, while I'm packing this up, go check out Twitch, cult_of_personalities. And me and my dad have been doing a little live gaming of Call of Duty Warzone. We're still pretty brand new to it. Just got it about a week ago, and finally getting some kills in game here or there, but still not great. I think my highest I got was like a 6th, I want to say. But yeah, that's just been fun. Just something to do, take up some time instead of just constantly watching YouTube and all of that. This kind of breaks things up a little bit, and gives us a way to kind of create more content. So I'm excited about it. Never really been a gamer, never really been a streamer. All of this world is new to me. I'm still trying to navigate it and trying to find my way through it and figure out the ins and outs and what I need to do, how to get things set up properly. And, this thing still needs work. This podcast, this series, everything still just needs a little bit more fine tuning, a little bit more work, a little bit more investment and all that. But, I'm just, I am excited about just how it keeps going, keeps growing, how we're keeping content going, and just keeping it moving. That's what we gotta do. And Zach said it yesterday. I gotta get my after running thoughts going. I really gotta stay disciplined with that. It's like once I start it, I won't be able to stop, because then I'll have to be held accountable. And that's the hard part, because it's like I don't want to start it and then you guys see me slip up and not stay disciplined. But when I do it, it's like I haven't really stopped doing this. The only time I've stopped doing an episode is when I really come into like technical difficulties. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I just need to start it, and then it'll just hold me accountable, and I will just have to stay disciplined, and then that'll help me stay healthy. And who knows that but Zach said he's been running as well. It's like, man, if I had a running partner, or maybe he can do a little every time he does his runs, like he could do a little couple minute thoughts or whatever, and then we can just combine it into like one weekly episode where we're just like breaking down our runs, what we learned from each run, where we ran, how long we ran, whatever, just a breakdown of everything. I don't know. We still gotta, hash out the details of that one, but he did say he was running, so maybe we can kind of combine things and just do it that way. We'll see. And then yeah, that would hold us both accountable, because we would both need some sort of content, even if it's just like 1 or 2 runs that week. At least we would each have 1 or 2 runs and then be able to kind of piece together something. So that yeah, we just kind of got to figure it out. That he did bring it up and it kind of put me on the spot. I was like, oh yeah, it never did get started, but it is something I still think about and want to do, and it's still in the plans. Same with a joint conversation, and that might be more of a reality once I, have all of my stuff grown. You know what I mean? And I can have access to just rolling up a joint whenever I want. And especially once the virus is gone, then I can have people come through, have a joint or two, and just have a little conversation about whatever, It can be kind of wherever it takes us, So those are still in the works and what I'm wanting and how I envision everything. And then, that should be kind of everything between the Real Word podcast, this one, Tuesday Morning Tokes, No World Order podcast and IG Live, Drew and Chase Side by Side, After Running Thoughts, A Joint Conversation, and then Cult of Gaming, the Twitch and YouTube live stream. So that'd be like 7 or 8 different things. So I would be cool with that 100%. Just a solid, it would cover and encompass everything too. It'd be a very well-rounded channel that kind of touches on a lot of different aspects of things. And that's my vision. It was just having this kind of channel, this brand, this network of friends, friends, family, just kind of coming together and just being creative and creating content and, making our way, making our impact, spreading our voice, spreading our word, our voices, our ideas, all of that. But I know that was a kind of a tangent. I didn't even get into the snap, and then we'll get into the story. Cheers, everybody. Oh, all right. So let's get into some of these numbers and what's been going on with San Diego and the COVID testing. So this is all stemming from July 5th, from what it sounds like. So just a couple days ago. It says 7,667 tests were reported to the county July 5th, and 4% were positive new cases. So it sounds like quite a bit of people got tested, but I don't know what 4% of the 7,667 would be. I don't want to mess with the computer and calculator right now while this is recording. It would probably mess something up and then stop recording, and I would be really bummed. But whatever 4% of that is sounds like a really low number of positive new cases. And then amongst that, there were no deaths reported on that day. But so let's just continue with what this says. The 14-day rolling average percentage of positive tests is 5.4%. So that was even below. Okay, so it sounds like there was a 4% in one day, and over 14 days, it's been an average of 5.4%. The 7-day daily average of tests is 7,730. So there was actually less people tested on the 5th. 274 were reported July 5th in San Diego County for a total of 17,000. What are they talking about? I don't understand. It just said 7,667 tests, but now it says 274 were reported. Dude, none of this makes sense. 1,912 or 11.2% of cases have required hospitalization. 516 or 3% of all new cases and 27% of hospitalized cases have. Let's restart that. 516 or 3% of all cases and 27% of hospitalized cases had to be admitted to an intensive intensive care unit. And then again, there was no deaths reported on July 5th. 387 is the entire total of the county, from what it sounds like. And with all of that, with just all of that, those low percentage numbers, starting at midnight, I believe this was yesterday, so it sounds like today, local restaurants, family entertainment, such as family entertainment locations such as bowling alleys, batting cages, wineries, movie theaters, zoos, museums, all must cease indoor activities, according to the governor's order, which was announced last week. Businesses deemed as essential, such as grocery stores and medical offices, can continue with indoor operations. Oh my God, man. All of this is just ridiculous, man. I swear. I mean, I understand from what they're saying, like, these places kind of are where or how the virus has been spreading more. But like I said, they opened things up just to, just to not get us excited, but give us a little taste of freedom, just for them to take it back away. And I kind of called that from really early on. I was worried about them opening up. Not that I'm worried about opening up, because I believe we should be opened up. And if, we should have the right to choose to go out and operate our business, our day-to-day life normally, if we so choose. If you want to wear a mask, that's your choice. And if you want to quarantine, that's your choice. But it should also be your choice to be able to operate normally throughout your day-to-day life and operate your business and, not live by these mandated guidelines that aren't legal, from my understanding. It just seems like these governors, especially Gavin Newsom, is just completely overstepped his bounds and is doing things just not right, man. And you can just tell, it's so hypocritical. We talked about it yesterday in the Instagram live. It's like, he says to wear a mask. He can't even wear a mask properly. There's so many pictures of him not wearing a mask properly. He made a $1 billion mask deal with China in April. Come on, like, we need to stress that more. Like, he made a $1 billion mask deal with China in April, and now, a few months later, he's mandating masks. Do you not see the problem with this? Why is he working with China like that? Dealing with masks, dealing with this pandemic. Like, do you not see the problem with this? And that's supposedly where the virus comes from. Is like, do you not see the issue with what's going on? And then, so that's just one thing. And then another thing, or that's just a couple things. Then another thing, he owns a winery, I believe, up in like San Francisco area, somewhere up there, up north, Northern California. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Napa or something. I didn't look at where his winery was. I just know he got his start in San Francisco. Had a wine shop in San Francisco that was backed by one of the Getty family, by the Getty family, to get him his, first business, his wine shop. And his winery is staying open, and it's by reservation only. And he specifically says wineries, bars, and all that needs to be shut down. So just how hypocritical it is. If it's like, if you have money, you can kind of skirt around these things, or if you're a politician, or if you're one of these influential people, the elites, you can kind of get away with kind of whatever you want. And it's just really ridiculous. It's just, like, we need more people to kind of speak out on these things, but I would guarantee you a majority of the people don't even know he owns a winery, and then let alone has it still open. So it's just it just makes me so mad, man. It's just really frustrating. It really is. Yeah. It's just I don't know what you do. Cause like, I didn't know, I wasn't aware, man. Like, I wish I was, because this pandemic and all of this has really highlighted a lot for me. Dealing with politics, it really kind of has exposed a lot. And it sounds like he just kind of got voted in governor again, got reelected, maybe last year or something like that. And I don't know how often that, race takes place. But man, I wish I was aware before, because this guy is just awful, man. I just don't agree with any part of what he's doing. It's pretty insane. So yeah, I just need to become more aware, and we really got to start becoming aware more locally as well, Like, people do say, like, your vote does matter, and I don't know if it really matters during the major election for the president, because we have the electoral college, and if more people vote for one person, the electoral like, it's a really confusing thing, but they have the more final say when it comes to the president, is the electoral college. And I don't really understand all the intricate details about how that works, and how you can use that in your favor, how not to use it in your favor, how it backfires or whatever. I really don't know. But I do believe locally, like for your local mayor or whatever, just those local politics, the city politics in your neighborhood, in your city, in your county, I do believe your vote can matter there, and you can start to make a difference. And like, if you see somebody early on and you support them, and you can rally behind them and see their growth from your local place and what they've done with your community, and then they want to step it up to be like mayor or something, and then you back them up, and then they get to the next step or whatever, and then you can kind of keep your eye on them and make sure they don't lose their grounding as well. But I do believe it all starts with the community, and I'm becoming more and more aware of that. And it just takes a lot of learning. That's all it really comes down to, is just learning, education, becoming aware. And that's what I got to do, honestly, is just figure out when these elections are, who's involved, and, you know, go from there, and really, vote for your heart. It's like, I've seen so many people say, like, a vote for a third party, or a vote for anybody but Biden is a vote for Donald Trump. And it's like, people are willing to compromise their beliefs just to vote for Joe Biden. It's like, this is insane. Or people are willing to compromise themselves just to vote for Donald Trump. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, I would never do that. It's just vote for your heart, vote for your morals, vote for what you believe in, and for who you see fit to be the best candidate. You know what I mean? It's like, if they don't win, if your person doesn't win, at least you put your vote there. Like, at least you tried to make a difference. And that's how I feel about the first time voting for Adam Kokesh as the Libertarian nominee. He didn't get it, but at least I did my part, because I've seen him, I've followed him, I like his message, I've you know smoked with him. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's I really like his message about libertarian and freedom and all of that. So that's where you find someone who you connect with that way, like morals and values and things like that. And then you vote that way. And he supports the nominee for the libertarian candidate. So I have to do some research into that lady. And I will do some research into her, and maybe I will be voting for the first woman president. You know what I mean? Like, that's, and people don't understand that. Like, there's another woman running for president, and it's like nobody's putting attention on that. So I just find it really interesting, because there's more than the two-party system. But it's like, people just say your vote gets thrown away if you vote for the two-party system, and that's just insane to me, man. I never understand that. And it's like, if you say that, like, the libertarians or third party will never be able to get notice, and they can't get notice on, they can't get to the debates because they don't get the votes. They don't get the votes because they can't get to the public, and they can't get to the public because they can't get to the debates. They can't get to the debates because they don't get the votes. So it's just this fucked up thing, and that's that people's attitude, where it's like, if you vote for a third party, it's just a throwaway vote. And it's like, I wish more people heard the libertarian message, because I think that's where a lot of people would align with, honestly. Just freedom for everybody, equality, freedom, peace, your way of living. You can make it your life, whatever that is you want, as long as you're not harming anybody, and you're not infringing on anybody else's, like, rights. So as long as you're not hurting anybody, stealing any from anybody, um you know that's kind of it. And you know what I mean? As long as you're not hurting anybody, stealing anything, and you know what else, though, everything else should be up to you as a person, from drugs to sex, like who you have sex with, who you marry, like, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about, like, adults having sex with kids. Like, fuck that. Like, that's still a complete no. Like, no. But as adults, you know what I mean? Like, you should have the freedom to choose whatever life you want. So, but people don't see libertarians as that way. They just call them kind of crazy and just completely discount them, And it's really unfortunate. And it's like I always heard about the third parties and the other parties and stuff, but just probably within the last 8 or so years, I really started becoming more aware of it and doing more research into it, listening to Adam Kokesh, going to one of his speeches here in San Diego, and like I said, I got to smoke with them and all of that. So, watching his YouTube videos, and there's just it's a great message, and if anybody says differently, I don't know what they're really thinking, because how can anybody really, unless you hate freedom and you want to be, stuck in this two-party system where everybody's causing division, everybody is like this hate and all this stuff, it's like then I get it. But if you want freedom and peace and love and people coming together and community, you really should check out the Libertarian Party. Like, honestly. Let's get into this. Cheers. So I will mention this just real quick. People, like the school thing going on right now. Kids needing to go back to school. Online classes, back in class, staggered schedule. There's a lot of confusion. People don't know what's really gonna happen. Which is just really unfortunate, because education is really important, but I think we can actually be more educated, without the school system. But there's some important things with going to school. It wasn't for me. I didn't learn a whole lot, but it does shape you. There is foundation there, and it is important for like socialization and things like that. But there's also room for bullying and that kind of stuff as well. So school is a really complicated thing, but for kids not to be getting education and not even have the option, or for it to only be online now, or there's just going to be a lot of different options, but people don't know how these options are going to be paid for, because that would require, some of these options would require hiring more teachers, and they can't even get by with the budget they have. So how are they going to hire more people? So this whole thing just seems like a real mess, and it's it's just really unfortunate, because like I said, education is key. School is, really important in certain ways. I do wish, some curriculum or whatever's taught at school could be different. Like, really make it life stuff that we use, like mental health stuff, health, how to do accounting, how to start a business, like those types of things. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think there could be better curriculum out there to really utilize school properly. But it is there. It is important for what it is. And, for kids not to be getting education is just kind of sad. But Dr. Fauci did say that to lawmakers that there is no one-size-fits-all plan for returning to the classroom, but the American Academy of Pediatrics is urging a return to in-person learning, warning that lengthy time away from school often results in social isolation, putting kids at greater risk than the virus itself. See, that's a real problem as well. Well, there's a few problems here, actually. That is probably really true because, you know, there's always that stereotype of the kid who got homeschooled or whatever, who was just kind of socially awkward and a little weird. So that's kind of what they're alluding to here, is like, the more that we're isolating and not socializing, we're just going to have a lot of introverted people who don't interact with the outside world. And, that just maybe seems like what the elites or the higher ups want, is just people to stay indoors and not really go outside. So, but I understand that. I believe that's kind of what they're alluding to. It's like people who don't go to regular school don't know how to really function properly in social settings. It's just, they're just a little more awkward and don't know how to interact. But also another big, like, component of this is like kids going to school, so like a teacher or a nurse or something, someone would see something on a kid, like a bruise or something, and they would report it to like whoever they need to report it to, the cops or CPS, whatever. And kids would be, these kids would be being abused at home, but there would be some sort of intervention before it would get real bad, or but now it seems like cases are only getting reported when kids are going to the hospital. So it's taking, it sounds like cases went down or reportings went down, but only because they're only going, like, being reported when they're going to the hospital. So school plays a big role in keeping kids safe that way, I feel, honestly. When I heard that number, I was like, when I heard that, like, information, I was like, dude, fuck. Like, that's true, man. Like, for some kids, school was an escape, or is an escape from their home, And now that's taken away, and now it's a real irritable time, and I don't even want to imagine what goes on. It's heartbreaking. It's really sad. And it's just fucked up that an adult can do that to kids, Just breaks my heart, makes me so angry and sad. Just so many emotions. But again, it just seems like that's what they want. They want this next generation to just be broken and just isolated and just living on their phone, and just really similar to some Black Mirror episodes, man. And that's what it feels like we're going down. Honestly, it just feels like we're being used for our energy, and we're just slaving away, working for what we can. Like, what was the 1,000 Merits or whatever it was? Like, go look at that one. Go look at just go watch Black Mirror again, man. Just all the episodes. Just all of them. And you can see what's going on. Honestly. Like, 100%. It's insane. Black Mirror. Love that show. But I think let's just have one more little snap, and then I will get out of here. This is my longest episode. I wanted to see if I could eventually do an hour, and it looks like we made it, so that's exciting. Get into this last snap, and I will get on out of here. Kind of ended a little heavy there, so definitely gotta have a little snap. Man. Cheers, everybody. All right, everybody. Thank you for stopping by, tuning in, checking out the channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and until next time, peace.